Hey, I wanted to create a little recording on how to create a strategy doc. The shout out here goes to Noel Berkman. He's a dyslexic leader. He's founded companies. He's an expert marketer. He's a strategy consultant. And he's been actively using our tool. And we had a great catch up conversation last Friday. And he said, I think it would really help if I heard, how would you use this tool? He is consulting for an organization and he needs to create a strategy on Gen AI. It probably will end up being a presentation. What's funny is starting by talking can help you organize a presentation, but I'm going to do the opposite here. I've made a bit of a presentation and I'm going to turn this presentation into writing. Either way, the same principles apply. The principles I'll hit on are load your brain, talk out your ideas, revise, and then share. And I'll use our tool for fun. Just while we're doing this, I'll talk through some of the ideas. So load your brain and sharing, really don't use our tool. Like, this is something that happens before and after you use our tool. And yet it's a massive part of the project. It's loading your brain, opening your awareness to what's going on. That is really the essential part for the communication you need to create. And then talking and using AI and real-time questions are really just a tool to help you do what you already have in your brain to start with. So I'll hit on each of those. Another amazing dyslexic leader that we talked to last week was Brad Bazori, and he talked about a famous and very eccentric movie creator, YouTuber, and writer named Van Nyquist. Van Nyquist spent hours looking at his typewriter, really not knowing what to write, and he had to go do something else to get inspiration. And the comment was, writing doesn't start when you hit the keyboard. Writing starts when you have your ideas about what you want to share. And that's probably doubly so for dyslexics, because we're really good at living and seeing all the interconnections in the environment we work in. And we're really bad at typing on the keyboard. Brad said, I've never been able to journal. If I had a typewriter, I would just throw it out the window because it just makes me frustrated. So back to that good news. You have to load your brain and you have to see this as part of the process, right? It's the back-to-back meetings. It's the work you do, maybe mathematically, maybe visually, all those other forms of thinking and the business connections you have that help you see the solution. And so load your brain with that. And then it helps, if you can, to write a few notes, and they can be just scribbles, drawings, whatever comes naturally to you. Because the next part is doing the work. And in this case, it's talking out the connections you're seeing. Start with a goal, like, I need to create this doc. Who is it for? What are the stories that I see coming up? And don't treat it too seriously. Treat it like a first draft. You can just go online and find like templates. If you want to create a strategy doc, just find a template and open that up and start talking to each of the points. The description, the situation, the project, the timelines. Or you can go into our tool and just start talking. And when you pause for more than a few seconds, it's going to ask a question. So here it says, what are the key aspects of this activity? To get over the block where your ideas die in your head, be willing to talk, and also be willing to take this in a direction that you need to go. These real-time question prompts are very new, and so we're still looking for feedback on them. There will be a long roadmap for improvements to come in them. So once you're comfortable with what you've said, you can hit pause and get that first draft and then revise. And Then we're going to ask questions that help you hone in your message. Make sure you're addressing the audience you want, questions that are prompting what you've said and taking those to action, making it a little personal, playful, something that people can relate to, and rewriting it for your focus. We also just recently introduced a format where you can just make it do what you say, kind of like ChatGPT, rewrite it in this way or that, and really sort of guide where you want it to go. And then the final thing is share. It might just be saved, because a lot of times you're just crystallizing your ideas and you need to save them in our system or to your journal. But sharing it with friends or online or trying to launch a project initiative is where you get real feedback. That's the ultimate form that goes beyond the AI, because it's where it lives in your community that it has real action. So that's the message for now. The writing is created after a short pause, and we can you can see that draft and start revising. So hopefully this is a little perspective on how you can use this tool to get clearer on your ideas, get feedback, and get closer to a winning strategy.